Hi, I'm Gary Jenkins, and welcome to my show. Today we're going to paint a little birdie that's looking at some little red berries. Let's take a look at the painting up there. Little guy right here is just a little wild bird getting ready to get some little berries to take back to the nest to feed his little babies. And we have some leaves and a little mystery down here where everything sort of just kind of floats off into the dark. Every painting needs to have a little mystery in it. We don't want to show everything. Let's take a look at the canvas. I have some stuff already prepared up here, so let me tell you what I have, so I don't want to do anything up here that I haven't told you what I have done to prepare for the show today. The background is dry. This is acrylic, and we have some dark greens coming out. We have some blue and white, but it is dry. Notice how loose and free it is, so that this gets the imagination fired up and ready to go. We'll have some leaves coming down in sort of an S curve and a branch coming out, all kinds of stuff. Well, I'll show you that in a minute. Let's come down to the palette. I want to show you, I have a color, line of color lined up here. Let me tell you what it is. This is burnt sienna, coming over and hitting some orange, coming over, hitting some ochre, and coming over and hitting some white. So it's a string of color. So when you look at your little birdie, you want to analyze the colors that are in the bird and then lay your palette out with those colors. It just makes it easier. This is good old oil paint that I'm using. Sometimes I forget to tell you. We're going to start with our sienna with a touch of orange, and the brush I'm using is a little round sable. And we're going to get this up here and get a little dark in here. Now, the pattern will be in the book for you guys, so you don't have to worry about it. You just get it on. You see I have the eye is already in because I don't have a lot of time up here. And the beak is in, so that's simple to do. It's just black and a little gray on the top. And we'll come down, and I like to work from dark to light. So I'm going to take some sienna and black. And it gets a little darker. Now I rest my hand on the canvas. Because don't try to paint out here like this. You'll just shake all over the place. So rest your hand on the canvas. And we'll put this little dark in, coming around. And as that dark comes down, it's going to get a little bit lighter. So we'll clean our brush off. I have Turp on the side, or odorless paint thinner. And I also have some medium over here that I'll be using. We're going to come down here and pick up the area. Now remember, that's sienna, orange, ochre, white. I'm in the area where it's sienna and orange mixed together. And we're going to come in here. Now you notice how I lay the brush on the side and just kind of wiggle. Because we're going to get his breast area in first. Which is rather a middle tone dark. And just kind of wiggle it in. And what I think I'll do is I'm going to switch over to another brush. This is just about a 1/4 inch brush. And I'm going to come up here and pull that over, wiping the brush on the paper towel. And you pull it out. Look at it change color. Remember that underneath is dry. But look what, just by thinning that color out, it gives us a beautiful middle tone. Now, if you want it lighter, you can just simply wipe some of it down. We're going to come down. Let's pick up our sienna and get our little feather work going in here. Good painting is simple painting. It's not painting getting all this stuff going that's really difficult. Keep your painting simple. If you get too much in it, it gets too busy. So right now, we're just kind of blocking in, being careful around the eye. Maybe we'll take our little brush, because I know I'm going to get that big brush in there, and that eye will be gone, and it'll be on the end of my brush. It won't be up here. So we get that little in there. Okay. Now we're going to come down and pick up some of, as we ran over, notice how it got lighter. This is ochre white. very dry, and we're going to plunk it right in there. Plunk it in. And there's no medium. This is very dry. And as we blend it out, try to leave some strokes showing so that it looks like feathers in there, maybe a little touch of white over here. And we'll hit that in there. Indicating feathers, indicating. We're not actually getting in there and painting a lot of detail. You don't need to. We're going to take that, a little white, and come up on the birdie's head and sneak a little white in there with just the corner of the brush. Now, if it feels a little strange to you or that brush is too big, let's come down and pick up this little pointed brush and get in there. Very dry, there's no medium, because we want the paint to stick to the surface, and we're painting this light color into that wet base color we put in there. And we'll smooth that out a little bit. Looks a little rough to you. You have to get in and smooth it out. Just keep playing with the brush and move it around until it smooths out. You don't want it too smooth, but smooth enough. Because if you get it too smooth, it'll look like porcelain, and you don't want to do that. And maybe we'll show some strokes in here where we might have a little feather work in there. Still stroking, still a little more white. Hitting it just on the downstroke to get a feeling of feathers. Yeah, how are we doing? Not too bad. Let's still take some white. I want a little more feeling of light up here on the top. Yeah. Okay, let's back off that little birdie because we're really in there pretty close. Okay, not too bad. Now we're going to take a little yellow and a touch of white, yellow and white, and go over the top of that and just hit it. Hit it, hit it, hit it, hit it, hit it. You take your time with the birdie. That's why I started with the bird first, because the rest of it can get kind of loose and free, where most of the time is spent doing the bird. Then we're going to take a little reflected light. Let's take some of our aqua blue and white with this 1/4-inch brush, and we'll add a little blue light right here, a little reflected blue. Well, that kind of ate it all up, didn't it? Let's get a little more blue. There it is. I knew it was there someplace. And maybe a little shot here, a little shot there. All right. Now, what we're going to do, wait a sec, I was going to start on the leaves, but I think we need just a little more here. What I'll do is let that set up a little bit, and we'll come back and mess with our birdie a little more after it tacks up a little bit. All right, now that bird is just kind of hanging around there. He needs a little limb to sit on. Take some sienna, maybe a touch of green and sienna. And let's, with the side of the brush, and we'll just kind of come in, maybe come up here a little closer, and behind. And it just kind of peters out down there. Then, well, not yet. Let's get that a little thicker right in there. Because if it's not thick enough, he would probably break that little stem. So a little limb sticking out. Let's take some sienna and a touch of black. And so we don't forget, we're just going to get his little feet coming out. Now the feet are just kind of there. It's just kind of an indication. Don't go crazy and nutty with it. Trying to get a lot of detail in there. It's not necessary. Here's a little light hitting that branch. Maybe we'll take some ochre and yellow and get a little texture going. Maybe something coming down. You should go outside with your camera. Take pictures of the limbs. I do it all the time. And when it's snowing outside, I'll go out and Down the line, I'll be doing a picture of a snow scene with a little cardinal in it. And that's coming up soon. Clean our brush. And let's get some stuff going on the top, yellow and blue. And remember, nothing is straight. It comes down, boom, boom, and curves around, and we'll get all this good stuff cooking. Maybe another something in here. Yeah. Green, foliage green, dark, and another something coming out. We have to have these little limbs give us some direction in the painting. Let us know where we're going with everything. And then, on top of that, we'll take some foliage green dark, a little bit of foliage green light, and we'll wiggle some color in here. Yeah, see? And we start out pretty dark. I'll take a little touch of medium. Maybe a little sienna. And we might have another one up here. Angle that stroke towards the back. And get it in. Woohoo! And another one here. And get it in. Now you don't want all your leaves to be super dark. You want some of them to recede in the background, so you will put it on with a little medium and let the light of the canvas shine through, which will give you the feeling that that leaf is more in the back than it is in the front. Coming on down here, this is where our berries will be, someplace up in here. We're going to come in with some wiggle strokes. You've seen me do that before. And a lot of greenery on the top. We have stuff coming right off the canvas. Ding-ding-a-ding-a-doo. Way up here on the top. Maybe a little ochre. Just combine. Oh, boy, look at that color. Yeah, just don't think too much. Everybody thinks too much about what they're doing. Just get up there and play. Play. Let's get a nice light. Look at that light leaf go in there. Remember, we start out with some dark leaves and then we slowly build up. Let's get some dark leaves behind that so we can put our light leaves on top. So you have a lot of stuff that is in the background, in the dark area, that's just kind of there. It's a filler. Otherwise, you'll just have some dead space with nothing going on. So it's indicating you don't have to show everything. If you start showing leaves over here, well, we'll put one in that you can see a little more defined. But if you start showing too much, it'll take the eye away from the center of interest over here. Coming on down. Again, we are just getting loose and free. Loose and free. And when you start painting this way, you go, oh, why didn't I ever paint this way before? And when you paint loose stuff in like this, the eye won't stay over here and analyze it. The eye will only go to what it sees that's really sharp. It'll see it over there, but it won't linger over there. So, now, and where we want the eye to stay and linger, and I'll show you how to do that, because we are in complete control of the viewer. We can make them look at whatever we want. Yeah, really, it really works. Filling it in a little more. Fill. Yeah, now, right up in here, we're going to take, let's take ochre, orange, white. And we're really going to mix up a nice light. Watch what happens when we come in. Watch how we get a lot of dimension to our painting by putting a nice light leaf up here. See it? See? And down. Yes. A little more yellow, ochre, orange, white. And we'll have another one cutting across. Right on top of those leaves. I know, every time you want to cover up a leaf with a lighter one, the leaf you're covering up is always your most favorite leaf. But remember, this is more important to get these light leaves on. to get that depth, that dimension to your painting. And don't forget, follow that light. Follow the light. On up. Yes. And listen to that little voice inside of you. Nobody listens to it. The little voice that says, put some color over here. Put some color over there. But we don't listen to it. We all have this little voice that talks to us. It's always the yin-yang of everything. The voice says, go ahead and do it. The other voice goes, you better not. The other voice says, oh, go ahead. You better not. If you do it, somebody's going to talk about you. I want to do it. Don't do it. I want to do it. Don't do it. Back and forth. And two, what you have to do is quiet that negative voice that's inside of you that says, don't do it. Push them aside and say, I'm going to do it. And when you come up to your painting, do it. Your voice says, that's all I'm doing up here. My little voice is saying, put a highlight on there. Punch it. Punch it. Punch it. Look at the light. Punch it. Boom. Boom. Nobody out there does this stuff. It's the sugar on top. Everybody stops short of doing it. Mainly because everybody out there, they're all trying to emulate. They have teachers that are teaching them floral painting, and the teachers are amateurs. So what happens? And they're certified classes, and you're getting a bunch of certified amateurs being certified by certified teachers. That doesn't make sense to me. Look at that. Nice values up there to match that value down there. And we're going to come on down, bringing some of the action down. Yes, 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 yes. Look at the curve. Can you see the swing? It ain't got that thing if it don't have that swing. Duke Ellington said that. Yes, yes. Come on down. Look at that. Yes, 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 yes. Now we're curving over because I'm leading the eye over to the bird. I'm telling people, look at the birdie. And we're going to come over here and maybe get a few more things going. But maybe they're just the little guys. You see? I love doing all the little stuff. All the little detail. Yeah. I mentioned this before that during the 1600s, 1700s, the old Dutch masters, when they did their paintings, and they got a lot of money for their paintings, the more detail in the painting, the more money they were paid by their kings and the princes. So they put all kinds of stuff. They put bugs in there and butterflies. And on one of my other shows, I'm going to show you a painting that Catherine and I did that's done after the old masters. Let's get something over here. And make sure you have plenty of stuff in there and don't get skimpy. Well, I have a little time, and I'm going to go back, because that birdie is looking a little bright. Let's see if we can darken him up just a little bit. So he's not, I want to take some sienna and darken up his belly here. Yeah. He was just getting a little too. But once your painting sets up, you can go back in and play with it. Because it doesn't really disturb all the paint underneath. And then we're going to take some of that dark up here and darken up back there. That's better. Yes, much better. Okay. Now, we're going to cut across because we want to set him into the painting with a little limb coming right across the birdie and up. And then this is going to have just a little leaves coming off. I'm going to get some medium because it's breaking up just a little bit. And take your photographs, guys. In the morning at my house, I get my coffee and I go in the backyard and sit. and I watch all the little birdies. They're just little wrens, little brown little birdies, gathering up their food because they have babies now, and they're feeding their little babies. And I take a little bread out there or lettuce and throw it down for the little birdies. And what happens is that the rabbits come along and steal all the bread and lettuce. So there's a little fight going on in the backyard. All this stuff going on. We have some little berries going in here in a minute. Let's put a little dark lemon here, coming down. Set it up for our little berries. Okay. Now, we're going to take a little brush, a little flat brush, and we'll pick up some deep burgundy. We're going to come up here, lay the brush on the canvas and twist it. See it? Twist. And it makes you a nice little berry. We'll put highlights on it in a minute. Another, push down, push hard on the canvas and twist. All right, deep burgundy again. Push hard on the canvas and twist. Then we're going to take our little brush and let's put a little highlight on here, here, and here. And we're going to find a little bit of aqua blue. And we're going to put a little reflected light right here, here, here. Now let's back up and look at those little berries. Do we look good? Yes. All right. Now, we want to keep them far enough. We don't want to bring those berries down too close to the birdie. Otherwise, it will conflict with him. We want him to look like he has to reach for them. Let's see if this little birdie, I'm cleaning up my brush here. Let's see if the color has dried up enough for us to get a little more light on the birdie. This is white, touchy yellow, very dry, and again I use titanium white. And let's get in there and just hit it. Now you really have to wait for this paint to set up. So it's a slow build-up. It doesn't happen right away, guys. Yeah. Remember, detail is so important that we get all this good stuff in there. All right. Let's back up a little bit and see what we have. Because remember, the camera is way in there close, looking good. All right. Now, we're very lucky that we have some time to put some little more stuff in here. And I'm going to show you that it's very important. Nobody pays attention to the little vines that hang down. Look at it catching the light. Then it goes in the dark and comes back out. Line work gives us rhythm. Line work gives us rhythm and takes us back down to the birdie. It breaks up all of the leaves in the background, so you just don't have leaves staring at you. Sky blue, which will let some of the cool recedes into the background. So now it's just subtle little things we're putting in. Little filler. But it's the filler that makes the painting. Because when people look at your painting, they go, oh, look at that detail in there. Look at all that good stuff. So it's not any different than the old masters. When people look at your painting, they want to see stuff. They want to see detail. But they don't want to see busy. So look, this blank area that we have over here balances out the busy area. Blank and busy. So that if we fill this all in with leaves, it would be too busy. This gives the eye a chance to rest. I think it's not too shabby. I hope you guys at home, give this birdie a shot. Again, it'll be in the book. It'll have the pattern, so don't worry about how you're going to get the bird on there. So go out and photograph all those birds in your backyard, or look through some bird books, and let's paint birds till we drop. Thanks for watching out there, and don't forget, sit in your backyard and just take some time to watch the birds do their thing. And I'll see you guys next time.
Wilt u leren schilderen, net als Gary Jenkins? Bestel dan nu de schilderset, samengesteld door Gary Jenkins zelf.
I have personally selected the finest paints for this exclusive set.
De allerbeste olieverf, medium, verdunner, kwaliteitskwasten, een instructieboekje en als bonus een prachtige instructie-dvd. Vanaf €149 heeft u deze prachtige set in huis. Bestel nu en ga naar omroepmax.nl.
Actuele onderwerpen, zijn zinnige onderwerpen waar gewoon een duidelijke behoefte aan is.
Max moet blijven bestaan en ze moeten gewoon een stem hebben in Hilversum.